Thank you for your interest in Data for Action 2012. I'm Aimee Guidera, Executive Director of the Data Quality Campaign. For the past 8 years, DQC has been reporting on the state of longitudinal data systems across this country. This year, as in other years, we are pleased to report the progress that states are making in building their ability to collect robust longitudinal data on every student. However, this year, we're also reporting that states are not taking all of the essential actions necessary to ensure that this information is being used effectively to improve system performance and student achievement. We know that the value of data comes not in collecting it, but the power of data comes when it is provided to stakeholders in an actionable and user-friendly manner. That transformation of data into actionable information does not happen automatically, nor does it happen easily. It takes leadership, it takes resources of time, energy, and money, and it takes a culture change. We need to change the culture around the use of data, to not use it just for compliance, to not use it for shaming and blaming, but to use it for continuous improvement. We need to take the policies and the practices and put them into place to ensure that we have this culture in place. People need to be at the center of this conversation. While we do need to continue to build our IT systems to ensure that we can keep up with the information demands of our education sector, equally important, we need to make sure we focus on the needs of the people. We know that stakeholders need access to information to answer those critical questions, and therefore our data conversations need to start with what those questions are that people have. We know from the survey that only 14 states now have the ability to link their early learning, K-12, post-secondary, and workforce data systems. That means critical conversations and critical questions about the alignment across these sectors, about the critical feedback loop that's necessary to inform continuous improvement, to fuel those efforts to drive interventions to successfully keep kids on track for college and career. We know those conversations can't happen in the vast majority of states. Similarly, we're reporting in the survey this year that states have made great progress in continuing to provide valuable reports. They're producing reports about growth and diagnostic and predictive analysis. And yet we're also finding that states are not taking the steps to make sure that that information in those reports is getting into the hands of stakeholders. Especially this is the case with parents and students. They just don't have access to the information they need to inform their decision making in a timely manner. And finally, while we have shown greatest progress in the number of states that are providing training on teachers and principals and other stakeholders about how to access and use data, we also find that there's not been enough steps taken to ensure that there is capacity throughout the system to know how to use information effectively to improve performance across the system. This means not only changing our licensure and our certification system requirements to ensure that educators have access and know how to use data effectively, but also that we're taking the steps to create the conditions that nurture this value of data and this use of data. There's so much more that needs to be done, and that while we have built these systems and while we now have the ability to shine a flashlight on what's working and what's not working, the real question is, have we built a culture that's supportive and nurtured and it's safe so that people feel that they can not only turn the light on what's working, what's not working, but they also have the authority, they have the security to know they can ask the harder questions, which is, now what, so what? That requires a culture in which everyone values the information and feels empowered to use it. Please check out our website, www.dataqualitycampaign.org, to go in depth into our survey results. You'll find our Data for Action 2012 report on there. You'll be able to look at specific state results and compare those across the country, as well as to look at some of the bellwether states that we highlight this year that are truly changing the culture around the effective use of data. Please join us in this conversation. We need your help, and everyone needs to play a role in changing the culture around data use. Thank you.